Hey guys, Skaz4. So today I'm playing a game called The Wardrobe. It's a point and click game. It's on multiple systems. It's a really fun game. But the thing I love about it is it has so many Easter eggs in it. And I really love Easter eggs. There are just Easter eggs packed everywhere in every background. I've never seen so many Easter eggs in one game before, and I love it. So I thought it'd be fun to go through all the backgrounds, all the places in the game, and kind of point out all the Easter eggs that I've found. Um, I'm sure there's some I've missed, so if you see anything in the video that I didn't catch, feel free to leave a comment and let me know. And there's also in the cutscenes and in the dialogues and everything else, tons more of Easter eggs. So if you like Easter eggs and you like point and click games, this is a great game to play. But let's get started. Okay, so this is the first room you start in. Very briefly, you just have a little conversation before you leave here. But there is some stuff here before this gets cleared out. Starting in the upper left here, of course, this is an NES system. On the shelves here, we've got a little Baymax. We've got this poster over here, which is supposed to be a parody of the famous portrait, which I believe is called Son of Man. Normally it has the guy with the apple in front of his face. Here it's the plum in front of his face. We have the night goggles from Splinter Cell. We've got the Captain America's shield right below it. And heading over to the right, we have all these license plates. I can't seem to figure out anything with any of these plates, so if anyone knows what any of these might mean, leave it in the comments, but I've got nothing. Then of course we have a Guitar Hero guitar, you can tell from the little buttons on top here. Then moving down to the desk, this isn't really an Easter egg, but it's just a little joking. This is a mouse and there's cheese underneath it, haha. But next to that, we do have this book which says Scum on it, which is Scum was the program used for all the old school point and click games like Maniac Mansion and stuff. So that's what that's referencing. So that's pretty much everything here. So let's move on to the next room. Okay, next up we have the bathroom. There's just a couple in here. They're all on the left side here, but you notice the bloody shower curtain and everything. That's definitely a reference to Maniac Mansion, where you find Edna, I believe was her name, in the bathroom, and of course the chainsaw. You get a chainsaw in the kitchen back in Maniac Mansion. You notice this one plank up here has a little face. This is Plank from Ed, Edd and Eddy. And then down here you have this staff, which is Rafiki's staff from The Lion King. And I believe that's actually it for this room. Next, you come back into your bedroom, and of course the movers have taken everything out, but there's a couple new things that you find in here now. One is on the wall, it says the cake is a lie, the cake is a lie. Everyone knows that's a Portal reference. But there's also on the desk here now, you see a little hole and it says Jerry's home, which I'm sure that's a reference to Tom and Jerry. Jerry is the mouse, that's a mouse hole. So that's it from here, so moving on. Okay, we're upstairs in the next room now. Starting on the left, this is a twister mat on the floor, obviously. Not really an Easter egg, but there is a big lemon stuck in this gramophone for some reason. And then along the top here, you notice this picture right here make it like glitches out and stuff. I don't know if this is supposed to be like Slender Man or something. I don't know enough about that. I know it's referencing something, but I'm not quite sure what, so maybe somebody can help me out. But then we got Jessica Rabbit here. Of course we have, this is parroting the famous Dogs Playing Cards. You got a grog machine here, which is from Monkey Island. Down here you got Lotso from Toy Story 3. You might not notice this at first, but there's a picture on the back here of a enemy from Minecraft. I think those are called creepers. And I believe that's it here. Alright, so the next place we find ourselves in is the sewers. This place is actually pretty big. It's 2 screens large. So we'll start on the left here. There's this big crocodile guy. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be some kind of parody of Killer Croc from Batman, but there he is. There's a parachute and backpack over here. I'm not sure if that's supposed to represent something that I'm not catching on to. I'm sure it is. And then to the right here, you got all the stuff hanging. You have a snorkel. You have this chicken mask, which I'm sure is supposed to represent Hotline Miami. The next one here really looks like Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank, which I'm sure that's what it's supposed to represent, because if you look right below here, there's Ratchet's wrench. And then, of course, you have a gas mask. I don't know if this is supposed to represent, like, Psycho Mantis, or if it's just a gas mask. Who knows? But it's there. And then moving on to the right, there's a mop and bucket here. Maybe this represents the Toxic Avenger, which is an old movie about a janitor that turns into like a radioactive sludge superhero. Look it up. And then you have a bomb on the wall here from Mario Brothers. You have these masks hanging up here, which is obviously the Ninja Turtles. There's even a rat here to represent Splinter. Then you've got this big barrel here that says Dip. Dissolves tunes on contact, which is from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. There's even the shoe on top, which is one of the tunes that gets dissolved in the movie. And then moving on, there's this big canister here with a smile. I don't know if that's supposed to represent maybe like the Joker, because one of the big things with him was he had the toxic or whatever, the toxin that he wanted to put into the water to make everyone like laugh or smile or whatever, so maybe that represents that. Up here you got a big pipe like Mario Brothers. You've got this little sign over here that's surely represents Ratatouille, and I think that's it for this location. So now we're above the sewer on the street. We'll start from the right here and work our way to the left. You got this bum here that's blocking your way that's asleep. I'm sure this is supposed to be a parody of a Snorlax, because the shape of him looks exactly like a Snorlax. He's asleep, he's blocking your way. I'm sure that's what it is. Then behind him here you have this poster. This is one of those things in the game, there's tons of stuff like this that it looks so familiar, but I can't quite place it. So maybe somebody can help me out and let me know in the comments where this is from exactly. And moving to the left, you got Rapunzel's hair. You've got Spider-Man's costume here in the garbage. You've got this poster that's a reference to the old movie They Live. Above that, you've got a crash test dummy. Again, not really an Easter egg, but a little joke. You got a gas pump here, and there's a shell on it, like the Shell company, but it's a different type of shell. And there's a little slot thing on here with barrels. Then there's a wanted poster here, which actually has a character from One Piece on it. And then lastly, a couple more that I can't quite put my finger on. There's this little wizard picture on these undies here that looks like it's from something. And there's next to it, there's this red cat looking character, which again, I feel that's from something, but I can't place either of these. So that's it for here. Then we'll move on to the construction site. Alright, now we're in the construction site, and we'll just start from the right side here. There's some signs up here, leave me alone, don't look, or it takes you. I believe these are from Slender Man. There's like the notes you have to find on the trees and stuff. There's a camera up here. This is another Spider-Man reference. Directly across from that, you've got this sign here, Incinerate. This is directly from BioShock. I don't know if this is done on purpose, but this sign right here reminds me a whole lot of Portal. And then moving on to the left, you got some Legos stacked here in the back. And then moving across from the back here, you got Lard Lad Donuts. That's from The Simpsons. You've got Wreck-It Ralph. And I don't know if this is done on purpose, but the coloring of these guys definitely looks like Mario and Luigi. And I believe that's it for the construction site. Alright, and then down in the sewer there's this hidden bar area. Starting from the left, you got the Statue of Liberty, you got a sarcophagus. You got this owl, which is probably supposed to be a reference to Harry Potter. This is probably supposed to be Hedwig. You got the Mona Lisa. Then over to the right here, you've got sitting on the bar, there's this acorn in a big block of ice, which is probably supposed to be a joke referring to Ice Age, and that little squirrel is always trying to get the nut. And then the barman himself, this is probably a reference to The Shining, the ghostly guy that appears in the bar, especially considering there's this big typewriter right behind him. And then it's easy to miss, but right in the bottom in the foreground here is this little 8-bit dinosaur, which is the same dinosaur that appears in Chrome when your internet connection is failing. So I think that's it here. Oh, wait, one last thing I missed here. If you open up this chest, you actually will find this Detective Gallo, which is I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but this is a character from his own point-and-click adventure game. So now we've made ourselves back into the house. There's this picture in the background, which is another parody of a famous painting. This one I don't know the name of. But then moving down here, you have there's this rainbow unicorn in the corner here. I don't know if that's supposed to reference anything. Maybe Robot Unicorn Attack, which was an old popular mobile game. I don't know. On the right here, we have some more pictures. There's 404. That's a computer joke. We've got Cat and Bread. This is a Pikmin from the game of the same name. This here, FB guy, this is supposed to be Facebook. Like, this is the default Facebook silhouette. So now we're in the kitchen. Let's start from the bottom, work our way around. There's some claws here sticking out of this box that really remind me of Wolverine claws. And then moving along, there's this chicken here that's laying golden eggs. And if you notice, there's beanstalk and stuff in the room. So this is part of the whole Jack and the Beanstalk fairy tale, the goose that laid the golden eggs. Of course, it's a chicken here. It's a joke. And moving along, in the sink here is a couple Ranma characters. There's this glove that kind of looks like a computer cursor, like the hand cursor. This frying pan, the handle kind of looks like the Master Sword from Legend of Zelda. Moving around, this is the containment unit from the Ghostbusters. And lastly, we have a blue French horn, which is a reference to the show How I Met Your Mother. There's a couple more things in the living room here. There's a statue in the corner that really reminds me of the statue from Night at the Museum. There's this sword down here, which I can't recognize the exact design of that, but I'm pretty sure that's from a certain video game. There's this block down here, which really looks like one of the blocks from the game Fez. And then down here in the corner, there's Ham from Toy Story. Once we get outside, there's a few more. There's the Batman symbol on the side of the house. There's a genie lamp sitting by the trash. There's Claptrap from Borderlands sitting by the garbage cans. There's a GameCube sitting in the trash. And there's also balloons attached to the sewer grate, which should be a reference to It. Now, the second part of the game begins in this graveyard, and we'll just start from the left here. You'll notice there's a picture of, looks like Cusco from Emperor's New Groove. There's a suicide booth here. That's obviously from Futurama, if you're a fan of Futurama. There's a robot here that looks like a Terminator. There's a King Kong here, which is obvious because it points it out to you. But one thing you might not notice is he's sitting on a defeated Godzilla. And if you look really closely at the book he's holding, the book says Death Note. Also, at the bottom here, there's a Christmas tree. And I'm guessing if this is a Christmas tree, this is probably Frosty the Snowman right next to him. So let's move on to the right. There's a big pile of stuff here, but I don't think there's anything in particular that's referencing other things, except for maybe this helicopter. It's a police helicopter here. I don't think it's from Resident Evil because the STARS logo is different from the logo here, but maybe it's referencing something else. There is a Slender Man poster at the bottom here, though. Moving to the right, you will see Pennywise. And moving further to the right, this one's kind of hard to see. It's easier if you position your character right, but in the foreground here, there's a sword from Halo. Next, we move into the little shack that's in the graveyard. And starting from the left, this picture here is actually from Fairly Odd Parents. This is Aku Aku from Crash Bandicoot. This is another Harry Potter reference, a mandrake. This throne he's sitting on is made up to look like the throne from Game of Thrones. On the right here, all this clothes and this staff is actually from a PlayStation 1 game called Pandemonium. Up on top here, there's also another reference to Harry Potter. This is Tom Riddle's diary, but in this, it's Tom's Riddle diary. Outside the party, there's a few Halloween Easter eggs. There's Pinhead here, drunk and passed out. And over to the left, closer to the house, there's a Jack Skellington head. And there's also this thing here from Spirited Away. A little later on, when you return to the party, you'll find this guy over here that has a hat on that looks like an alien. And you'll find this other guy here that's dressed like Sam from Sam and Max. You get a better view of his costume, a different part of the game. And you'll also, once this fence is burned down, you'll see a little Pac-Man and some ghosts. When you get inside the house with the party, there's some more Halloween fun to find. There's apparently a pirate that died here. But moving to the right, we got a Donnie Darko reference. We got a Morpheus reference. We got a guy in a Pedo Bear mask. We've got a Daft Punk reference. And then lastly, we have one half of Laurel and Hardy here on this picture. Then moving into the kitchen, we can find Jesus and Judith. If you watch Jesus, whenever he makes a shot in beer pong, he'll actually make a little troll face. You got Tetris magnets on the fridge. This pirate up here on the fan, that's a direct reference to the bar in the first Monkey Island. You got Ghostbusters down here at the table, and you've got the Bride of Frankenstein down here at another table. Inside the fridge, you can find a dead bird from Angry Birds. You can find a Game Boy, and you can also find purple tentacles, which I'm sure is a reference to Maniac Mansion. There's only a couple things upstairs. There's a picture of a monster that's from Where the Wild Things Are, and there's also a picture of what looks to be a stormtrooper. If you open up the phone book upstairs, there are tons and tons of references and Easter eggs. Starting with the ads, you've got a twofer here. This says Rupture Farms, which is from Abe's Odyssey, but it has a picture of Bioshock. And then I think Sprunk is also from Abe's Odyssey. I might be mistaken about that. But we got a Matrix reference here. This is a reference to Rocko's Modern Life. We've got a reference here to Fantasia, and we've got a reference here to Futurama. And I think almost every name here is a reference or a joke. Couple of the highlighted ones here, like Oswald Cobblepot, that's the penguin from Batman. You got Leroy Jenkins. You got the Red Baron. You got Timmy Turner from Fairly Odd Parents. It's probably best to just pause the video right here and take a look through all the names for yourself. In the study, you have yet another famous painting. You have what looks like to be a reference to either a piranha plant in Mario Brothers or possibly Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors, but more than likely it's supposed to be both. You got a picture of Venom here up on the wall, and you've got the other half of Laurel and Hardy here. So if you go to the lake on your map, you can find the Rose here from Beauty and the Beast. You can find an alien from Space Invaders, and best of all, you can find Flowey from Undertale.
Do you want to hear some news that will make you happy?
In this storage room in the house, you'll find the Boogeyman, and he looks a lot like the Cheshire Cat. Once you get the lights back on in here, you can see all the fun stuff in here. There's another Master Sword up on top here. And then going across, you got Master Chief's helmet. You've got a reference here to Full Metal Jacket. You've got a brain down here, which is obviously a reference to Mother Brain in Metroid. It's not easy to see, but when this guy moves his head, you can see on this box back here it says Pennywise lives. There's also a chicken with a pulley built into it, which is a reference to the first Monkey Island. And there's a Starman, which everyone knows what that's from. If you head on down to the beach, you'll find this guy sitting here on a companion cube. If you look closely, you can see he's actually got a Flash t-shirt on underneath his coat. This tree is made up to look like a Pokemon. You've got the cat here from the memes. You've got this thing looks familiar, but I honestly can't place it myself, so hopefully Cons can help me out with that. You've got the Little Mermaid's bra sitting here, and if you look really closely, you can actually see SpongeBob and Patrick over on this rock. Later on the beach, you'll find some more Pokemon references. There'll be a Jumanji game buried in the sand, and you'll also find Wilson from Castaway. On a third visit to the beach, you'll again find another Pokemon over here on the barrel. In the cave, there's a couple more Pokemon hanging from the ceiling. And there's also this thing down here, which, again, I know I've seen this before, but I can't quite place it. And if you make your way to the graveyard, you have yet another Laurel and Hardy reference here with the graves. You have a statue for Medieval, a PlayStation game. If you move to the left, there's a Diglett that pops up back here sometimes. This guy kind of looks like the last Airbender with the arrow on his head. You got a flux capacitor here in this tombstone. You've got what looks like a Sarlacc pit back here from Star Wars. You've got a guy dressed up as Doom. You've got another guy dressed up as an item box from Mario. This guy I'm not 100% sure what he's supposed to be. And then you've got another guy dressed up as the Purple Tentacle from Maniac Mansion. Right behind him, there's a little picture of Homer Simpson that says Drunken Donuts. Under the welcome mat here, you've got a reference to Wizard of Oz with the evil witch's feet sticking out. And then on the crypt door, you have the Hydra symbol. If you make your way inside the crypt, you'll find a one-up mushroom on the ground here. You'll find a reference to Beauty and the Beast, which he'll open his eyes occasionally if you're watching him. And you'll find some pictures of characters from Don't Starve. In this little hidden cave, you'll find a Portal reference, and what I'm assuming is the heads of some of the developers for the game. Once you figure out how to get into the crane, there's a little Fallout bobblehead on the dash. It also says Leroy in the middle here. And a little bit later on in the game, you'll find yourself at the camp finally. You'll find there's a picture of Ernie and Bert here. There's some more Slenderman posters. There's Waldo. There's our friend here from earlier. Moving to the left, we'll come into the actual camp. There's a box of Eggos, which is a Stranger Things reference. You'll find a haystack down here with this arm sticking out. That's an Assassin's Creed reference. You'll find this camper up on the mountain here. That's Breaking Bad reference. There's a horse walking right up the mountain. This is a Skyrim reference. And you'll see the Death Star in the back corner here. About this time, you'll find your way into the bedroom at the party, which you'll find a giant Chucky doll. And there's also this poster on the wall here that's another Daft Punk reference. Once you find your way into the bathroom, there'll be an E.T. poster. And there's also a bar of soap on the ground that says One Rule, which is a Fight Club reference. Once you get to the museum, you'll open up a ton more Easter eggs, starting with in the entrance here. There's a face hugger directly to your left. In the first exhibit here, you'll find a Digimon character back behind the glass. And then moving on to the war exhibit, you'll find a Worms reference here. You'll find a guy riding on a bomb, which is a common trope first seen in the movie Doctor Strangelove. And then you'll see this missile with this R emblem on it, which is exactly like how you would find in Metal Slug. Then in the Egyptian area, you'll find a Mario hitting a block, and you'll also find a cow being abducted by aliens. And lastly, in this phone booth, you'll find a sticker for V for Vendetta. You'll find another little sticker with an Ape Escape monkey, and you'll also find on the side here it says Bad Wolf, which is a Doctor Who reference. When you actually beat the game, you get to go to one last area, which is your friend's bedroom. And he has some more references in here, mostly musical references. But starting from the left, there's a letter on the door that's signed by Hook. You have a Kiss mask. There's a poster here that's a reference to Korn. Ronald himself is dressed up like Ronald McDonald. He has like a yellow shirt on, and the sleeves are yellow and white stripes. And over to the right, there's a poster here that says "Welcome to the Jungle," which is a Guns N' Roses song, but the poster itself has a predator on it. Then there's a Pink Floyd poster. There's a Slipknot poster. On the bed, there's an AC/DC logo. And lastly, over here hanging, there's a Kingdom Hearts key. And that brings us to the end. That's all the Easter eggs that I managed to find in the game. If there's anything you saw, leave it in the comments and let me know. And if you like the video, leave a like and subscribe. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this with other games. But this is the end of this video though, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye.